Hi, I'm Mayor Jen, and welcome to the season premiere of Season 3 of the Melrose Minute, where we bring you news you can use from City Hall. And for our season premiere, we have some extra special guests. I'm thrilled to be joined today by our public safety team of Chief John White from the Melrose Fire Department and Chief Kevin Fowler from the Melrose Police Department. Welcome, gentlemen.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you both for being here and for all that you and your teams do every day to keep Melrose safe. And what I wanted to have you here today to talk about is something that's really important to the city and to our residents, which is our public safety buildings project. So just to remind folks, back in 2023, the public voted to authorize a debt exclusion of $132 million to redo all 4 of our public safety buildings. And there's been a lot of work happening since that vote, in addition to your jobs to keep the city of Melrose safe. So we wanted to provide an update, which we've already done to the City Council, and just share broadly with folks what is about to become a really exciting period of time where both Engine 2 and the Melrose Highlands and the police station will be breaking ground later this fall and winter. So what does the first phase of this project mean for your departments? Do you want to start, Chief?
Absolutely. Thank you for having us on here. Huge. What it means to us is we're moving forward into the 21st century of policing. In having the equipment, the building, the support of the city, the community, the vote that you referenced in 23, very overwhelming, surprisingly overwhelming, the support that we had. So it's something to look forward to, like in any job organization. You have something good to look forward to, and we do. We know when we get the new building in phase 1, morale, it's going to be a huge morale builder. It's going to give us better equipment, better rooms, better training facilities, which are tangible. But I think for me personally, and I think a lot of the personnel that work for me, it's more of the intangibles, the morale, the support, knowing that the community supported the vote, that you support what we're doing. And that just falls in line with recruitment and retention. And we're always looking to get the best and the most qualified. And if we have the best police station, which we will have in 2 years, and a good staff, which I have, it's going to just make us even better as we move forward. That's my sort of chief outlook on, I think, what it means for us.
That's great. And Chief White, how about you?
No, I agree with almost everything you said. And over the years, our jobs have changed. We have a lot of duties we do also. And so to get these new buildings, we'll now have a facility that will equip us to do all the tasks we're required to do, training, hazardous material stuff, decon, all the things that have changed, all these things we've learned over the years to keep our firefighters healthy. These buildings are going to reflect that to make life a lot easier for them.
Absolutely, and I think as you referenced, we're moving into the 21st century. We're already a quarter of the way through it, so it's a little bit beyond time that we'll be able to bring facilities that reflect the jobs that your folks do every day and have what they need. And I'm so grateful to the public for supporting this project. And so the plan right now is that the police station will break ground in early 2026, and that Engine 2 will actually break ground in just a few months this fall.
Mid-October.
Yeah, very soon. And I think what may be surprising to voters, particularly if you don't work in the public sector, is that there's a lot of steps involved in doing a public building project. We don't just come up with some plans and then call our favorite contractor and off we go. So in addition to running your departments, you two have been in a lot of meetings. And can you talk a little bit about what's happening in those meetings, who's involved as we sort of go from this concept of new buildings to really being ready to put shovels in the ground?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a lot of work. The end goal is going to be well worth it, the end result. But we meet every 2 weeks, if not more, in working groups is what we call it, with the architects and Denise Gaffey and a couple of my command staff and a couple of the patrol officers that are involved. So to have that good input and constantly working on, in the working group, we're checks and balances is what I call it. And then we have a larger, as you know, we have a larger public safety committee that meets not every week or two, but that involves a lot more people that sort of also have the checks and balances and where we're at. Are we being fiscally responsible? What are our wants? What are our needs versus that? But it's a lot of work. It's a lot of fun work. I had the advantages of doing it in my previous agency, building a police station. So that experience at least helps. At least I've went through it already. And it's good to have that because I've seen what didn't work and what does work when you're building a police station. I don't know what fire needs. I stay in my lane. but it's been really good. The cooperation's been great, and there's going to be tough decisions to make. There have been tough decisions to make to cut, and we've cut, and we'll talk about that at some point. We're doing very good on the budget for the overall project, but it's a lot of work, but I love it. It makes my days actually go faster. So,
Yeah, this is unprecedented in Melrose.
It really is.
To do, and the fire department's going to do all 3 of their stations, one right after another. So we have to, while one building is down, the people that usually work out of that fire station will be at another fire station and work out of it. So we're going to just hopscotch for the next about 10 years until they're all complete. But it's something we're all looking forward to, getting input from the union side, the firefighters, IT, fire alarm superintendent, DPW. They all have a hand in this because they all have, what's the best word, incentive, or have something they have to do with the buildings. DPW has to maintain them. IT has to have all this new equipment that they've been trying to piece with our old stuff for so long. Now we'll finally have new stuff that hopefully will work a lot smoother together. So it's an exciting time, I think we're all looking forward to it,
Right.
It is a lot of work with that.
You just reminded me, I'm sorry to interrupt, but all the internal departments, integral, the community itself, and I neglected to mention the input of the community in our neighborhood where we're moving into was a lot of help and instrumental in sort of design phase of it, where we took their input. We had some various public meetings with the abutters, and I think, and I hope, and I anticipate that we've accommodated most of, if not all, their needs.
Absolutely, and I think it's so important to remind folks that the community is involved at so many levels. First and foremost, many of your staff and yourselves are residents of the city, so we're getting their input as both users of the building and as taxpayers and community members. We have many residents on our larger facilities committee offering both their professional expertise and just their commitment to Melrose. We've been doing engagement with both of the neighborhoods where these 2 buildings are, and look forward to doing that. Chief, you'll be doing that for our other 2 fire sites. You'll get to bow out at that point. And then making sure that we're providing information to the public through city council meetings, which we did a few weeks ago, and folks can go and view that recording. So I think it's been really helpful. I agree with you. We've gotten information that we may not have thought about, but to have those voices at all levels has, I think, made this a better project that is both going to meet the needs of your departments, and we've managed to kind of whittle down some costs. And so right now, our professional team, our architects and our project manager are letting us know that they think on the whole, we are $7 million below budget on these 4 projects, which is huge to be able to potentially save that money for Melrose taxpayers while delivering what your departments need. It would be a real victory, I think, for all of us and for Melrose. So I want to commend you both on that work. I know it's really meant making some critical decisions about wants versus needs, and that we have a great team of architects and construction managers who are helping us position these projects to be really competitive at bidding. These go to public bid because they're public projects, and we're feeling really optimistic based on the numbers that we're getting in that we'll be able to do this under cost, which is huge, knowing what big projects these are. So that's a real win. And I think, Chief, you mentioned there's going to be a lot of swinging between spaces as we get these projects underway. I know we'll be providing through the architects and the construction managers direct communication to the abutters of these buildings, but we'll also be doing broader communication to the community about, particularly with fire, how that is or is not going to impact services as we kind of navigate between these 2 buildings. And you'll be a little more clean cut because your folks will stay put until we're ready to move in. So you get a simpler move in, but yours will be a little more complicated, Chief. So what can folks expect when we are putting Engine 2 under construction? What will that mean for the operation of the fire department?
It'll mean that the Engine 2 crew will work out of headquarters. So we'll have to divide the duties of that end of the city between running out of headquarters with the ladder and Engine 2 and the ambulance. And, we've done that in the past and, on a very temporary basis, but this will be for a pretty long time. And, but we think we have it handled, and it's very fortunate. Melrose isn't a very large city area-wise. We have access to the side of the the railroad tracks via the Fells Way and Melrose Street. And so those routes are open to us to get to both sides of the city, hopefully unimpeded.
Great.
And I just want to say we are being sensitive, even though Melrose is small, like I just said, the locations for each station are quite different. We're being sensitive to the neighbors' needs. And I know the project managers will be having updates, what to expect on construction-wise. There'll be a lot of construction vehicles around. We're trying to be sensitive because they'll still have to operate, especially the Engine 2, so close to the school system. We have to take that into very careful consideration, which they are. So they'll put notices out what to expect going on, in the near future. And we're happy for any input to make it go. The input we've gotten is great. The designs, we're very happy with Engine 2 as it sits right now. We think it will fit with that neighborhood very well.
Yes, and I want to say that in addition to buildings that are going to meet the needs of your department, we're making some real upgrades for the community. The buildings are all going to be completely ADA compliant, so handicap accessible, public restrooms that'll be available at every building, which we know is something that has been a long-standing practice. And so really allowing the community to fully, however you move through the world, to be able to use these buildings, because they really are the community's buildings. And so I think it's going to be a huge upgrade for the city in general. I hope residents feel proud of this project. I know I am. I'm so proud that we've made this investment, and I'm so grateful to both of you for your leadership during this. And I'm really looking forward to putting some shovels in the ground in the next couple months. It's going to be exciting. So I encourage folks to check out, there's a lot of information on the city website for people who really want to follow along, all of the monthly reports from our project manager, the presentations to the city councils. People can see the designs of the building, which I think are beautiful and really do fit in with the fabric of our community. And I think it's really exciting. So I just want to say, as someone who has sat in a lot of meetings with the two of you and your teams, great job. And I think we're at a really exciting point with this project. So thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's been a pleasure.